Okay, now we coming to topic 3.
Woo!
Welcome
to you said.
Thank you everyone for tuning in. This is another episode of Caribbean Show and Tell, episode 70. We changed the format. This is the pop-up season, y'all. We're going to have about 4 or 5 other locations. We're going to just pop up on you. So this is one of my favorite topics. I've been thinking about this. I've been discussing it with different people. And the topic is, what is your old man wisdom you inherited? Your old man wisdom. Let me explain this. Like, I asked my grandfather, right? Because I was like, your grandfather get up in age, right? Right? And I just asked him to say, give me some wisdom that I can use that you don't just leave the earth. And I'm like, damn, I wish I had said something or asked you something. And he told me, he said, Kareem, whatever you do in life, make up your own mind. Now understand, I thought this was anybody saying make up your own mind is not deep. But when your grandfather, who knows the history about other family, and says make up your own mind and kind of knows you, he's like, there's a lot of things that's going to sway you back and forth, but you gotta make up your own mind. And so that's the wisdom I inherited. And the thing is, I'm like, every time I get confused about something, I say, make up my own mind about it and just live with that. So how about you, Anthony? You got any old man wisdom?
I got old man wisdom. I got a lot of character traits, and the treat everyone with respect from my grandpa. But my grandpa died when I was very young, so I kind of grew up with my grandmas and my moms and everything like that, and where they taught me a lot. The wisdom that I got, at a very young age, and 18 is a very young age. The wisdom that I live with every single day is from a guy named Michael J. Carter. He was a major in the Marine Corps. Now he's a full-bird colonel. He runs a command. Okay. He applied for the NASA program. He was one of the 4th candidates. He didn't get selected in the top 2 for that program, but he made it to the top 4. He's one of the best pilots in the Marine Corps. And I was in Iraq with him in 2009, and we would run missions. We would come back. We would do things, and every morning, me and that dude would have coffee. Come into my shop, be like, hey, Gans, pot hot? Let's go. Let's drink some coffee. Sit here and talk. He didn't need to come talk to me. I was some boot little Lance Corporal. He didn't need to talk to me at all. Came to my shop, talked to me. There's 300 Marines in the unit, but he came to my shop, talked to me for 30 minutes every day. Okay. Never failed, like clockwork. Whether we were on mission, when we come back, before we go out on the flight, whatever. We sit there and talk for 30 minutes. And I know it's said elsewhere, but one day we just came back from this one, and he's like, I was like, sir, what the fuck? He's like, Gans, this is how you're going to get through this. This is how you're going to get through life. Common sense is an uncommon virtue. As long as you know that when you're not making the decisions and people are making decisions for you, their common sense is not the same as yours. Okay. So as long as you understand that common sense is not common, it's an uncommon virtue, you'd be good. Okay. You know what I mean? So it's every day I'm like, when something happens, I'm like, fuck, well, I guess he didn't have that common sense. Like, whether it's like you see something on Facebook or you see something on the street, or a stupid dude cuts you off, or you kind of you see something and you're like, damn, common sense is an uncommon virtue for real. These motherfuckers don't even know. So that's my old man wisdom. I tell it to people as much as I can. I know it's said elsewhere. He's had to have heard it from somewhere. Yeah. But I could give 2 fucks. To me, the credit goes to and this is not his rank right now, but Major Michael J. Carter in Iraq, 2009. Okay. So again, common sense is an uncommon virtue, and it calmed me down so much because I was so amped up. I was so amped up. I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah. Just what the fuck? What are we doing? What are they doing? Why did we do that? I'm not gonna say the situation, but what the fuck, sir? And he told me that, and I'm like,
Never thought about it that way.
You're right, man. People don't have no common sense. Okay. Every day I was like, all right, cool.
It helped you deal with it.
Yeah. It helped me deal with everything. Life today.
Okay.
It helps me deal with life today.
Okay.
So, fuck. Let's do this. All right, common sense. You ain't got no common sense? Fuck it. We'll make it work. We'll make it work. Common sense is an uncommon virtue. I got it. Don't worry. We'll figure it out.
How about you, George?
Well, I would have to say I don't have a specific thing that my old man taught me, but he did.
Or any elder man. That's what I wanted to
Yeah,
do.
any elder man. I'm gonna have to go with my dad though, but he did tell me when I was younger. I guess he was a man of action, right?
Okay.
So when I was a little kid, I remember I was watching the Flintstones, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're watching the Flintstones cartoons, and then he wakes me up. He gets up in the morning and he comes to the room and he tells me we're gonna go running.
Okay.
And I'm 5-6 years old, right? I'm thinking, like, why do I have to run? Like, yeah, we're gonna go run. And then before we went on our run, he told me, he goes, there's a lot of things in life you're not gonna be. He's saying this in Spanish to me. He's saying there's a lot of things in life that you're not going to be able to control. Sometimes you're not going to be the fastest. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you're not going to be, the most athletic. Sometimes you're not going to be the best looking. Yeah. But you could be the toughest.
Okay.
So you could outgrind everyone. If you could be the guy that's there, in life, like when everybody else is quit.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be mentally tough.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, so we're going to go run 5 miles.
Okay.
And then
you're 5 years old, running 5 miles.
I'm like 5 miles. I'm like, so there was a park called McKinley Park in Chicago that we were running. 5 times around is 5 miles. Mm-hmm. I remember trying to get through it. Like the first time you start cramping up and everything, and you're like a little kid. Yeah. And then he told, I'm running with him, and as I'm running, we ended up making it. Even if you had to walk it, you had to make it. He's like kept telling me, you got to be tougher than everyone. You got to get through this because everybody else is watching TV playing, right? Mm-hmm. They're playing, and what are you doing right now? You're running miles. Mm-hmm. You're doing something that somebody else isn't doing. Mm-hmm. So then that was my introduction into learning to fight. He told me we had to go to the boxing gym. Because if you can take a punch to the face, you can take life, right? So, you can take a punch to the face. You get
that's old man wisdom right there.
Yeah, you can take a punch to the face. You can take life. And so I was like, shit. Like I'm a little kid, 5 years old, going into a boxing ring, sparring with another little kid, hand-to-hand combat. So from that young age, like I was a gym rat. I was always in gyms, sparring. And overcoming those fears, I think my dad was always telling me, if you know how to defend yourself, you'll be confident in life, because you'll be able to be your true self. Because when you don't know how to defend yourself, a lot of the times you're afraid that someone's going to be able to,
You're timid to say something.
Yeah, you're intimidated to say something. You can't be yourself. Like you're apprehensive. And I didn't realize back then, I hated every minute of it. I'm running miles. I'm fighting with other little kids. I didn't understand what the whole thing was until I got older.
Fight Club.
Yeah. Come on, and I'm a little kid coming home with a bloody nose or whatever, and learning to overcome these fears. And I didn't realize that later in life that now I do the stuff like when I'm running for comfort. Like it relaxes me. Okay. I go to the boxing gym and it's relaxing. And it's just because that's real. Everything else is bullshit. Yeah. Like when you're in front of somebody, you don't have time to look at your Instagram. You're sparring with somebody, and it's you and that person. And life is kind of like boxing. You have to overcome obstacles in the ring, overcome the other person's offense, with your defense, and it's a mental chess game, and it makes you mentally tough in life. So my dad just showed me that at a very young age, and his wisdom was that just be tougher than everybody. You can control being tougher, because even if a guy's more talented than you, there's 12 rounds in a fight. Okay. So as long as they're going to get tired eventually, and you're going to be in their face, throwing punches, and you're going to outgrind. That was my old man wisdom that I got from my old man.
Always be the hardest worker in the room.
Exactly. It's the blue collar Chicago mentality too.
Okay.
That's good.
How about you, Siga?
Well, I would say growing up, I always found myself doing just dumb shit around the house.
Okay.
And I would always get my ass beat for it.
Okay.
Whether I could be bothering my brother, doing something with my cousin, I'm always doing something.
Okay.
And so my pops, who was like a martial arts teacher, he would look at me and say, "Listen, you got to do the right thing. Mm-hmm. You already yourself know what the right thing is. You got to do the right thing. Because if you don't, you're going to be in this position, a position that you don't like.
Okay.
And this could carry on for your whole life.
Okay.
So possible jail. You hear all these stories of people getting locked up because they didn't do the right thing. So then, one particular day, I forged my mom's signature.
Ooh, asshole.
Right. I forged my mom's signature. It was after women's class. this horrible science teacher gave out these reports of everybody, whatever. Anyways,
Okay.
I forged my mom's signature.
I did this before, did myself. Go on.
Yeah. And so but then I started thinking about the words of my pop's song. Do the right thing. I won't have to beat your ass if you just do the right thing, because you know what the right thing is.
Look.
And so I forged the signature. And I looked at it and I said, "Damn, I could get my ass beat,
Okay.
or I couldn't." So I erased it.
Okay.
I said, "I'm gonna do those." Got the knock, in my head. Like, do the right thing.
Oh, that's me.
Oh.
You were knocking?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, it's crazy.
He thought that
You're
was
tying into the story. You're tying into the story. So I heard the knock.
No.
And I heard the knock and I got to thinking, I'm gonna do the right thing.
Okay.
So I erased it. And then I went to my mom and said, "Hey mom, I need you to sign this." And I handed it to her. And then she said, "Okay, but why do I kind of see my name on here?" And so I said, "I don't know." instead of me thinking, "Do the right thing," I said, "I don't know."
Yeah,
She says,
exactly.
"All right, well, I gotta show pops."
You
So
got-
so then I was just like, "Wait, I did erase it. I erased it and I gave it to you." Now I'm trying to come out with the truth. I should have did the right thing and said, So then he sees it and then he says, "All right, so you're forging your mama's signature." And I was like, "I did, but I erased it. I did the right thing and I erased it." He says, "I'm still gonna beat your ass because you thought about it." He said because you thought about it and you did it. He's like, he says, "Congratulations that you erased it, but you still put it on paper." I was like, damn. I was so I always think to myself in like just different situations.
The lesson learned there was
Lesson learned: do the right thing.
do the right thing.
Do the right
from
thing.
the gates.
From the jump. Just like you think about taking something from the store, do the right thing. Cool.
Now,